Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, I am Taylor Elizabeth. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, I don't know why you haven't hit it, but you need to make sure that you hit it. So first, I want to give a shout out to Memphis Meeks, and that is the shirt that I have on today. Memphis. That's where I'm from, 901 Stand Up. So yes, he sent me a couple of shirts, and this is one of them. It's a crop top. As you can see, your girl don't have a waist, so it's perfect for me. But if you like it, I will link the description below. So what are we talking about today? Well, this is a more sensitive, deeper topic. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because a lot of times people see me and they're just like, oh my gosh, you have it all together. Oh my gosh, you're such this happy person and you're just always high of energy and high of life. And I mean, that is the case for the most part, but I have my own problems and things that I deal with. And I think it is very important for me to be transparent. And I don't like to come off as I have it all together. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, baby, I don't at all. So today we are going to talk about depression and anxiety. And those are two things that I deal with constantly. I battle all the time. And so let's get into it. So first, it is important to know where your depression and anxiety stems from. So this is a very touchy subject, but I want to tell y'all. So my depression started when I was in the 11th grade. Yeah, so 11th grade, I lost my virginity. I mean, most people lose their virginity in high school. If you haven't lost your virginity, this is what I will tell you. Don't lose it. If I could go back in time, I would have never done that. So I lost my virginity to somebody that I had been messing with, actually dating since I was in middle school. Finally decided to give it up. And he was on a basketball team. And so he went. I was thinking that this guy was going to keep it to himself, but he went and told the basketball team because, I mean, I've never been ugly or, yeah, I've never been ugly. I'm going to just be honest. I've never really been unattractive. I've always been somebody that people just really want. And so, and I'm not being cocky, I'm just being honest. So at my high school, I was always the girl that everybody wanted, but they knew that they could not have. And so he finally got me because I was comfortable enough to give it to him because we went to middle school together. I didn't know all these other people and I didn't want them. I wanted him. So he used it to his advantage, got me, and I gave it up. And he went back and told the whole basketball team. Well, after that, he didn't want to be with me anymore. So that hurt. But I got over it. And then a guy decides that he wanted to ask me out on a date. And so I was really reluctant at first because he was also on the basketball team. And I was just like, what you want? Like, you told you warning comes before destruction. So I already thought like, okay, maybe he just want my goods. But I was just like, no, I'll give him a chance. He knew, so he really don't know that much. So he asked me to come to the movies with him. I lied to my mom and I told her that I was going to the movies with him and his parents for his birthday. Yeah, his parents was not there, y'all. There was nowhere to be in sight. It was me, him, and his brother. And his brother brought a girl. And so my mom was like, well, that's fine. You can go, but I'll pick you up. So we go to the movies. And you know, as teenagers, what do you do in movies? You make out. So yes, we did make out. But that was it. So it's time for my mom to come pick me up. And sis was asleep. It was like, well, you need to ask his parents, can they bring you home? I'm like, oh crap, but the parents aren't here and she don't know that. And I can't tell her because if I tell her, my parents are very strict. So if I would have told her that, I would have been in a world of trouble. So I asked him, could his brother take me home? He was like, yeah, he can take you home. So we get in the car. He was like, well, we need to stop somewhere first. So he stopped somewhere. We go in the house. I'm like, bro, I have to go home. Like, my parents do not play. Like, I have to be at home. So we go inside and we're sitting there. He's like, just chill. Like, we just gonna chill for a minute. So we chill for a minute and he leaves out the room, comes back, turns the lights off. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. What is you doing? Like, I gotta go, fam. Like, Carlos and Stephanie do not play. Like, I still get whoopings. So he was like, okay, like, you wanna go home? And I was like, yeah. He was like, well, hold on. So he starts trying to kiss me and I'm like, you're not getting it. I need to go home. So he was like, well, do you really want to go home? And I said, yeah. Well, in order to go home, you need to do me and my brother. Wait a minute. I need to do what? I don't know what you thought this was, but this ain't that. So he tried to force himself on me. I fought him off. And he was like, well, you want to go home so bad? Walk your A home. So this is December the 28th at 1 o'clock in the morning. I proceed to walk home. And while I'm walking home, he stops and pause. I'm walking home and he's texting me constantly. Can you get back? Come back. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I apologize. And I'm like, bro, nah, I'm good. So he ends up getting in the car with his brothers, drive down the street. They find me, stops the car, throws water on me at 1 o'clock in the morning. Finally get home. My mama is asleep. Didn't even ask no questions. And I'm just like, wait, what type of stuff is this? So fast forward, this was Christmas break. So fast forward, we're going back to school now. Get back to school and he's not there. So I'm like, okay, well, cool, great. He's not there. I don't have to see him. I don't have to think about it. I'm okay. I'm fine. So like 3 weeks had passed and all of a sudden he came back to school and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's back. What in the world is going to happen? So somebody walks up to me and was like, hey, I heard something about you. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, what you talking about? Well, you want to know? I was like, yeah, can you please tell me? And they was like, well, I heard you did so-and-so and his brother. What? Like, excuse me? I said, no, how about you text me? I'm about to go to class, you text me. So they texted me and I was like, you really want to know the truth? Honestly, he tried to come on me. Like, he tried to force himself upon me. If you wanted to be technical, he was like, wow, I didn't know that. I said, yeah, so before you start like spreading rumors about me, make sure you spread the truth because that's the truth. And he was like, wow, I didn't know that happened. I was like, it's okay, you didn't know, but now you do know. So I'm like, all right, that's one person. That was one person, y'all. In a matter of 2 weeks, the whole school knew. The whole entire school. When I say the whole school, I mean basketball coaches, teachers, counselors. Everybody knew, y'all. Like, they thought they knew that I had slept with somebody and their brother. All while I had only ever slept with one person, and that was the person that I was in a relationship with, basically. So I went from being the girl that like was so sweet, so bubbly, everybody loved her, everybody wanted to be cool with her, to now she a hoe. She washed up. I became the talk of the locker room. My teachers knew, so they were like, what's going on? Like, I didn't know you was that person. Excuse me, who are you to even ask me that? And the fact that you just believe what you heard without even asking, is that true? Basketball coach coming to me, oh my God, Taylor, I look at you as a daughter, like, I don't like hearing your name in the locker room. So finally, words got back to my counselor, and they brought him in. He admitted to lying on me, that he lied, and I didn't do anything to him or his brother. But at that moment, it didn't matter because only people that heard that was the counselor and the police officers that was in that room with him. The school, they didn't know. My teachers, they didn't know. Basketball coach, they didn't know. Students, they didn't know. And that's where my depression started. So after that, I got into a very, very deep depression. I felt like I was alone. Nobody understood me. Nobody believed me. I tried to commit suicide a couple of times. So yeah, like, and I'm sure some people who went to high school with me, after watching this video, they'll know who I'm talking about. They'll know different parts of this story, and they'll just be like, wow, yeah, y'all had the story wrong, completely wrong. But yeah, so that is where my depression stems from, and it's very important to know where it started. That's where it started. And so what causes me to get depressed at times is when I feel alone, when I feel like nobody is there for me, when I feel like I don't have anybody, nobody is listening to me. That's where it stems from. So as far as my anxiety did not start until I got into college, when I had multiple instances where girls would try to jump me in college my freshman year, all because men liked me and they liked them first, and they didn't understand, well, I had him first. Now all of a sudden he not talking to me no more, and they see like, oh, he's trying to talk to Taylor. I never dated these men, never even said that I even liked them, but because they saw that the men start losing interest in them, they would get so upset and didn't know how to control their own emotions that they would tell people that they wanted to jump me. And so that started my anxiety to the point where, like, to this day, I don't like going places by myself. I'm getting better at it. But it's very hard because that really like scarred me to like be like, okay, what's going on? I'm always looking around where I'm at, what's going on. I can sense when something is about to pop off. If you don't know what that means go down. That's what we kind of say in Memphis. So I can sense that. And yeah, so my anxiety caused me to start smoking weed. Regardless of what people think, yes, weed comes from the ground, but weed can be a gateway drug to a lot of other things. The only thing that I ever experienced was weed and alcohol, but you can get addicted to weed. I don't care what anybody say. You may get mad because I'm saying this because you like to smoke weed, but you can. Because of my anxiety, I smoked weed every day, all day. I woke up, smoked, went to school, smoked before I went to class, got out of class, smoked. Before I went to bed, I would smoke. Like, I didn't know how to function without smoking. And it was until last year when I moved back home and I did not smoke, I didn't drink because I live at home with my parents and you can't do those things here, that I had to like, okay, I now have to actually deal with my emotions. I have to deal with my depression. I have to deal with my anxiety. So I have been to counseling in the past, and counseling is very much useful. So if you're like, I don't want to go to counseling, everybody can use some counseling, trust me. My mom is a counselor, so if you need one, she ain't gonna tell me your business. I can put her information in the description below as well. Everybody can use some counseling. So I've been to counseling before, but now at being grown, it's like, okay, Taylor, you have to take responsibility for your actions and what you did in these situations that allowed you to get to these different places. So yes, that boy lied on me. Yes, he ruined my reputation. I will never get that back, ever. So if you ask me, would I go back to high school? I would never go back to high school because my reputation was ruined after that. But the part that Taylor played a part in that was the fact that I lied. And I told mama that he was going to be there with his parents. If I would have told her it was just him and his brother, Stephanie would have said no from the beginning. And then as far as my anxiety and those girls, like, I don't know. Like, I don't really think that I could have prevented that, honestly. I think I could have been more mindful of who I hung out around. That could have prevented it, being mindful of who I hung out around. And so depression, anxiety can cause you to... I've had instances where I could not get out the bed. Physically, I could not get out. I had an ex who would tell me, what you mean you can't get out? Just get out the bed. No, I literally cannot get out of the bed. So when you have a friend or a family member that tells you that they suffer from depression or anxiety, that is real. That is nothing to joke about. It's nothing to play about. Don't sit there and make jokes. No, like, it's a very sensitive topic to me because I'm still fighting those issues right now as we speak. So I will tell you what I do now to like help with my anxiety and my depression. So when it comes to anxiety, most of the time I call my grandmother. So it's good to have one person that knows the things that you deal with, knows what triggers your anxiety, and that you can call when you feel like an anxiety attack is about to come or is happening. So it's important to have somebody. And then I have learned to control my breathing. So I can sense when my anxiety is high and when an attack is about to happen. And sometimes I can't prevent it, but sometimes I can. And in order to prevent it, I sit there and I begin to slow my breathing down, which ends up slowing my heart rate down, because when that's happening, your heart is literally going like this constantly. And that can be scary, which can make your anxiety even more high. And so that's what I do for as far as my anxiety. As far as my depression goes, honestly, all I can tell you is I pray. I pray a lot. I'm not perfect. I have a lot of issues, a lot of things that I'm fighting against, working on. But one thing I can tell y'all, praying is so therapeutic. When I feel like I am alone, I just begin to cry out to God and truly express how I feel and what's my thought process and what I'm going through. Because sometimes you may feel like, well, I don't want nobody to judge me, or I don't want people to think that it's something always wrong with me, because trust me, I'm like that. A lot of times I don't like telling people my problems or telling people what's really going on with me, because it's like, here she come again with something else. But we're human. We're always facing things. We're always going through things constantly. We're constantly evolving. We're constantly changing. That alone can bring anxiety and depression, uncertainty. Like, that can cause you to be depressed and anxiety. You just don't know what's next. And so I pray a lot. Me and Big G, that's what I call God. We like this, baby. That is my best friend. I also journal. So hold on. I have a prayer journal, and on the front it says, "You will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart." And so in here, sometimes when I can't talk, when I feel like it's too much to say anything, I just write. And on each page, it has a scripture at the beginning. And so I meditate on that scripture, and then I just write what I want to say to God, or how I feel at that exact moment. If I feel alone, if I feel like I'm by myself, or if I can't talk, or I'm just upset, I write it in here. So I shared a piece of me with y'all. It's really deep, I know. But I hope you know that if you are suffering from depression and anxiety, you are not alone. If you feel like you need somebody, I can be that somebody, because I know what it feels like to not have anybody. Follow me on Instagram at Holly Beautiful. You can DM me. I can send you my number. You can email me at TaylorElizabethLacey@gmail.com, and we can talk. But what I do want you to know, you are not alone. And I wish I had somebody to constantly tell me that when I was going through those times. And I didn't, because I was so into myself and I wouldn't tell people what was really going on. But I want you to know that you are not alone. You do have somebody, and most importantly, you have God. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. I know this was like not the peppy person that you are always used to, but I just really wanted to get that off my chest, especially during us being in quarantine and people are starting to slowly like rethink a lot of things, and you have a lot of time by yourself, and being by yourself sometimes that can cause depression. And I just want y'all to know you're not alone. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Until next time, bye.